The K-pop Demon Hunters universe is no longer just a successful animated film. It has now turned into a massive pop culture brand growing in Netflix's hands. The first film made history with 236 million views, and now all eyes are officially on K-pop Demon Hunters 2. In today's video, we're going to talk about the most up-to-date information surrounding the sequel, character secrets, new villains, and the 2027 plans. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Behind-the-scenes information coming from Netflix and Sony shows that K-pop Demon Hunters 2 is being planned not just as a sequel, but as the second major wave of this universe. Recent reports from sources like Variety, Forbes, and Puck reveal that director Maggie Kang wants to build a much darker, more emotional, and more character-driven story for the second film. The first movie flooded viewers with a visual spectacle of neon cities, stage lights, and K-pop energy. The sequel, however, will dive beneath that bright surface and focus on the characters' pasts, inner conflicts, and hidden secrets. It is now almost confirmed that the characters Zoe and Meera will no longer stay in the background. According to Maggie Kang's statements, there is a massive archive of backstory material that was written for the first film but never used, and a large portion of that archive belongs to Zoe and Meera. This means K-pop Demon Hunters 2 may not just be the continuation of Rumi's story, but the birth of a new main character. At this point, Netflix's goal is very clear: to build a trilogy structure where each film centers on a different character. The first film was Rumi's journey, the second will dive into Zoe's or Meera's inner world, and the third will unite all three characters' destinies in one massive finale. This structure both keeps the story fresh and deepens the mythology of the universe step by step. And this is where the biggest question begins. Is Gu really dead, or is death in the K-pop Demon Hunters universe simply a transition into another form? Fan theories suggest that Gu could return through Hanmona energy, potentially even in an antagonist form. If this happens, the sequel will become not just a continuation, but an emotional and moral breaking point for Rumi. In the new story where Zoe and Meera are at the center, one of the most talked about rumors is the emergence of a rival demon idol group. But this time, instead of a male group, it could be a fully dark aesthetic demon girl group. This group would stand in direct contrast to Hunter Divided by X's bright stage image, bringing a more aggressive, more gothic, and more threatening aura into the universe. Theories surrounding Zoe, in particular, add a powerful layer of mystery to the sequel. Rumors suggest that Zoe's family may descend from one of the ancient demon hunter bloodlines, and that Zoe has been hiding this truth until now. The reason? To protect the group's morale and to keep her own dark past from weighing on her friends. If this theory is true, Zoe's past could become one of the sequel's main engines of conflict. On Meera's side, there is an even more personal mystery. In the first film, the deliberate blurring or framing out of Meera's family photos was interpreted by fans as intentional breadcrumbs. The sequel may pull back the curtain on a traumatic event connected to Meera's family, revealing the true reasons behind her calm and controlled exterior. The revelation of these two characters' secrets could fundamentally change the dynamic of Hunter Divided by X. No longer just a harmonious idol group on stage, they would become a team tested by the weight of the past, going through trials of trust and loyalty. This would transform K-pop Demon Hunters 2 from a flashy musical action film into a powerful character drama. And the most striking part, Gu's possible return could drop like a bomb right into the center of this dramatic structure. If Gu truly comes back, will it be a redemption or a dark evolution? When Rumi's desire to save him collides with the secrets Zoe and Meera are hiding, the sequel's emotional weight could become far heavier and far more intense than the first film. On Netflix's side, K-pop Demon Hunters is now being positioned not as a single film, but as a multi-layered entertainment brand. The special K-pop Demon Hunters sections in Netflix's physical stores in Philadelphia and Dallas show that this universe is meant to be lived not only on screen, but also in the real world. That means the sequel will also sit at the center of a much larger transmedia plan. On the music side, expectations are insanely high. The fact that 4 songs from the first film entered the Billboard Hot 100 at the same time was a first in Netflix history. That record set the goal for the sequel not to simply deliver good music, but to create a global music event. Netflix and Sony are reportedly planning far more performance scenes, more aggressive choreography, and even a separate digital album for the sequel. According to behind-the-scenes information, K-pop Demon Hunters 2 will be positioned as a hybrid experience that merges cinema and music, much like Spider-Verse. Digital concert events, TikTok dance challenges, and interactive social media campaigns are already being planned. Netflix's goal is to turn viewers not into passive watchers, but into active fandom members who feel like part of this universe. Visually, Sony Pictures Animation is said to be preparing to raise the bar significantly. The Houdini-based effects system and special lighting pipeline will be preserved, but the lighting language will shift toward a much more neon east, bright, and high-contrast style. K-pop concert aesthetics will be directly integrated into demon battle scenes. Which brings us to the projected release window. When industry calendars and animation production timelines are considered, the strongest estimate for K-pop Demon Hunters 2 is summer 2027. Netflix is reportedly aiming for a teaser in late 2026, followed by a full summer blockbuster release in 2027. One of the most striking technical innovations in K-pop, Demon Hunters 2 will be the transition of fight scenes into a fully rhythm-synchronized action system. In this system, character attacks, defenses, and special powers will move in perfect sync with the background music's rhythm, meaning the scenes won't feel like simple action choreography, they'll feel like live concert performances. Specially designed, color-coded lighting palettes for each character will also be a key part of this new visual language. Purple and blue tones for Zoe, turquoise and gold reflections for Meera, and the classic pink-red combination for Rumi will be used. These palettes will visually reflect each character's emotions and inner conflicts during both performances and demon battles. This approach will become the biggest factor separating the K-pop Demon Hunters universe from classic animated action films. Fight scenes won't just be about who beats who, but will offer a narrative that blends musical identity with the characters' inner journeys. Maggie Kang describing this system as elegant as a pop concert and as destructive as a demon war perfectly summarizes the sequel's tone. Another purpose of these technical innovations is to make the film highly rewatchable, because every scene will feature different lighting, musical details, and choreography transitions, inviting viewers into a visual musical experience meant to be explored, not just watched once. And this is where Netflix's big plan becomes clear. K-pop Demon Hunters 2 is not just being positioned as a sequel, but as a global digital concert film plus an action legend. Viewers won't just buy a ticket, they'll join a fandom. The most talked about long-term plan behind the scenes is that K-pop Demon Hunters will move forward with a clear trilogy structure. The first film was Rumi's story of stepping onto the stage and discovering her identity. The second will focus on Zoe's or Meera's inner world, opening up the universe's mythological depth. The third will be designed as an epic finale that unites the origins, bonds, and destinies of all three characters. Thanks to this structure, each film will tell a complete story on its own while building a larger narrative chain in the background. Netflix's goal is to create a growing mythology where every new film centers on a new character while still advancing the universe's overarching story. If Gu truly returns and takes on a dark form, the foundations for an even bigger threat will already be laid for the third film. When Rumi's desire to save him, Zoe's dark bloodline, and Meera's hidden past come together, this universe will become not just the story of an idol group shining on stage, but an epic of three characters fighting fate. On Netflix's side, the future of this universe isn't limited to animated films alone. Live-action adaptations, stage shows, and interactive digital concert projects are also on the table. In other words, K-pop Demon Hunters is poised to become one of Netflix's biggest cards in both animation and music over the coming years. In short, K-pop Demon Hunters 2 is far more than a sequel. This film will reveal the real stories behind the neon lights, give birth to a new leading character, and fully usher the universe into its second great era. The real question now is this: will Zoe be at the center of this era, or Meera? And will Gu truly return? The answers are waiting for us in one of Netflix's most ambitious animated projects. K-pop Demon Hunters 2 is not just a sequel, it is preparing to become the second great age of this universe. Zoe's and Meera's stories are opening up, Gu's fate may be rewritten, and Netflix wants to turn this project into a full-scale global phenomenon. Who do you think should be at the center of the sequel, Zoe or Meera? Write it in the comments and let's talk. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video for more content like this. See you in the next video.